The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler, March 2nd. Blessed Charles the Good. He was the son of Saint Canute, King of Denmark, and of Alice of Flanders, who after the death of his father carried him, then an infant, into Flanders in 1086. His cousin german Baldwin VII, Earl of Flanders, dying without issue in 1119, left him his heir by will on account of his extraordinary valor and merit. The young earl was a perfect model of all virtues, especially devotion, charity, and humility. Among his friends and courtiers he loved those best who admonished him of his faults the most freely. He frequently exhausted his treasury on the poor, and often gave the clothes off his back to be sold for their relief. He served them with his own hands, and distributed clothes and bread to them in all places where he came. It was observed that in Ypres he gave away, in one day, no less than 7,800 loaves. He took care for their sake to keep the price of corn and provisions always low, and he made wholesome laws to protect them from the oppressions of the great. This exasperated Bertulf, who had tyrannically usurped the provostship of St. Donatians in Bruges, to which dignity was annexed the chancellorship of Flanders, and his wicked relations, the great oppressors of their country. In this horrible conspiracy, they were joined by Arambald, Castellan, or chief magistrate of the territory of Bruges, with his 5 sons, provoked against their sovereign because he had repressed their unjust violences against the noble family de Straten. The holy earl went every morning barefoot to perform his devotions early before the altar of the Blessed Virgin in St. Donatian's church. Going thither one day, he was informed of a conspiracy, but answered, "We are always surrounded by dangers, but we belong to God. If it be his will, can we die in a better cause than that of justice and truth?" While he was reciting the Penitential Psalms before the altar, the conspirators rushing in, his head was cloven by Fromald Borchard, nephew to Bertulf, in 1124. He was buried in St. Christopher's Church at Bruges, not in that of St. Donatian, as Pontoppidan proves. Borchard was broke alive on the wheel, and Bertulf was hung on a rack at Ulperi, and exposed on it to be torn by furious dogs, and at length was stoned to death by beggars while he remained on that engine. St. Charles's shrine was placed by an order of Charles Philip Rodowan, 4th Bishop of Bruges, in 1606 in the chapel of the Blessed Virgin, and ever since the year 1610 a high mass in honor of the Trinity is sung on his festival. See the life of this good earl by Walter, Archdeacon of Terouenne, and more fully by Gualbert, Syndic of Bruges, and by Aelnoth, a monk of Canterbury and Danish missionary at that time.